evening, everyone. Russ, the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. Bloody Monday, and I hope you're sort of easing your way into the week. We did the ratings, the Man City game at lunchtime today. Go back and check that out and disagree with everything I've said, as per usual. And we're starting the old 2-game weeks again, isn't it? Thursday and Sunday. So are we match fit for these 2-game weeks, guys? Are we back in it? There'll be plenty of content coming up as per usual. But it's Hammers Headlines in association with the KUMB.com. Boys, 3 stories. And we're going to be we'll touch on Thursday as well, because I think that's the important one to talk about already now. Let's start with the title screen, shall we? The thumbnail. Now, apparently, according to several sources, West Ham are open for bids for Nayef Aguerd in January, with the likes of Newcastle and also potentially Man City, although maybe after his mistake yesterday on Saturday, he might have changed their mind. Looking at potential bids for Nayef Aguerd. Quite an interesting one, I think. It's widely reported, but Clarence Hughes, as well as a few others, have sort of suggested that they're open to offers of around £50 million for the Moroccan centre-back next. It could be in January, but it could be next summer. More likely to be next summer, in all honesty, because January, he's away for a month, so you can't really sell him, really, because how can he do his medical and he'll be playing for Morocco? So the likelihood is maybe the summer next year could be a time for him to be moved on. In the post, particularly looking at the Clarence Hugh one, it's claimed that the Hammers have changed their stance on Aguerd. It comes on the back of a couple of incidents. I think he's a great player, but he's had a couple of mistakes. I don't think you sell him personally. I think he's a good player. But it was quite interesting on the post-match press conference. Moyes basically didn't name Aguerd as the reason why it all went a bit tits up, but he did say he didn't. But he basically said that City's second goal was poor, and it was clear, that there was a sense of responsibility held against Nail's head, which it was. He lost sight of the ball. It's not the first time Moyes has come out and criticised, so to speak, Aguerd without actually naming him. Sort of criticising the mistake rather than the player. And it seems apparently, offers around 50 million quid by someone like Newcastle or someone like Man City, or even maybe the Saudi bids coming back in. The club will certainly take a look at it. They won't sort of dismiss it out of sight. It was also been linked with Liverpool as well in the summer. We'll see. Obviously we signed Mavropanos. He was on the bench. I imagine you'll see him get some game time on Thursday. And obviously, you assume maybe any more mistakes from Aguerd and he would come in maybe, or maybe someone like Agbona could come in. But again, I don't really want to risk Agbona for, I think he's a bit past it, to be honest. But the only trouble is he's left-sided, and we would need to then replace him with a left-sided centre-back, potentially. But, Tim's probably got about a dozen under his sleeve. But we'll see what happens. It's interesting to see how the stance has loosened a little bit, from being indispensable to being, we'll offer, accept offers of, or we'll look at offers of around £50 million for him, which would see an increase on what we paid out for him. Not exactly double, but not too bad. But we'll see. That's obviously not probably until the summer. And a player who's been arguably one of the best since coming back from the new season has been Jarrod Bowen. And he was himself and JWP were both very much notable admissions from the England squad last the international break. Obviously, we have another international break in October. We have another international break in November. And by all accounts, Gareth Southgate has had a conversation with Jarrod in a similar one to the one he had with James Maddison, where he was at Leicester. And according to a couple of sources, including the CBS journalist Ben Jacobs, he's said that Southgate's assured Bowen he doesn't need to leave the London Stadium in order to be in contention for the Three Lions. He said a similar thing to James Maddison last season before obviously Leicester got relegated and he moved to Tottenham. But it's interesting to see what happens with him and England as well. Obviously, he's playing bloody good at the moment, but arguably I think Sterling's playing fantastic as well. I mean, he was when he played us at Chelsea, when Chelsea played us at London Stadium, I thought Sterling, that's the best game I've seen Sterling play for years. I thought he was fantastic, and they still obviously lost. But according to journalists, from what I'm told, Bowen has been told by Southgate that staying at West Ham won't impact as far as Euro 2024 is concerned. And obviously, we're in the midst of a Bowen contract negotiation. We've still got 2 years on his contract, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next sort of few months with that contract. By all accounts, Bowen doesn't want to sign it because, well, what we've heard is he doesn't want to sign it because Moyes is still in charge. But I don't know how true or how not true that is, but that's what they've been saying. He hasn't signed a new deal yet. He's very happy at West Ham. Obviously he's got his father-in-law's a massive West Ham fan. Who's Danny Dyer? And obviously he's got the twins as well. The family's very settled in London, and but there's no doubt the impact of someone like he should not be named the former captain, number 41, moving on for a significant amount of money, but moving on to to play in the side which is currently playing in the Champions League. Whether you think they're going to continue is another thing, but they are playing in the Champions League. Obviously, we play in the Europa League, and unless realistically we get Europe again next year, there'll be less eyeballs on Bowen, won't there? So we'll see. It's a tricky one, isn't it? It gets to a point, if someone like Mo Salah does go, then Liverpool will definitely come calling. That's not no shadow of a doubt at all. But according to Southgate, his England credentials, his England potential isn't impacted by staying at West Ham. Although he did pick Harry Maguire and Calvin Phillips, neither having played more than about 20 minutes of Premier League football, rather than playing someone like JWP, for example, in Phillips's position. Hashtag just saying. And obviously, speaking of Europe, Thursday, we're back at the London Stadium. It's European football again. We're back in Europe. I do love a European game. I love Big Tone will be there. Tony Perry. Boom, 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 boom. Love it with all fireworks and shit like that. I love it. I'm such a little kid when it comes to that. And obviously, we kick off our European campaign at home to TSC Batka Topola. I'm going to call them TSC. And where we lost our undefeated league status this year on Saturday, obviously losing to Man City, they've continued a very impressive start to the season. They've tuned up with a 6-3 home victory against, here we go, Sleznica Pankevo. Anyway, 6-3 TSC won. 2 goals from Dajikovic, Stankic, Svenkovic, Pantovic, and Vulic. So 5 different goal scorers. They currently are top of the Serbian Super League. And as I said, undefeated, 7 games played, 6 wins, 1 draw, 18 goals for, only 6 conceded. And they are 3 points clear of Partizan, who are second. They played against their opponents. Against their opponents on the weekend. They played a 5-4-1 formation. It was quite interesting. I was talking to someone who is aware of TSC. He's a Serbian. He's a diplomat actually, and he is very close to that club, and they see this as a bit of a jolly in terms of the Europa League. They're not particularly concentrating on it. They're seeing it as a bit of fun, but that's the worst type because they'll have no qualms. They're not worried. They're not anxious. They'll play with freedom, and these are not going to be any mugs. I tell you, these aren't going to be no mugs. People think we're going to run away with this game on Thursday. We ain't. They're going to be strong side, even if it's. I appreciate it's a Serbian league, but for me, you've got lots of. There's they're going to be playing at a massive stadium. Yeah, their home stadium is like 4,500 usual. So they're going to play at a massive stadium. They'll have lots of local support as well, I imagine. With a lot of Serbian people living in London, they'll go to watch the game. And they'll have no fear. For us, we need to win this game. We definitely need to win this game. We need to win this league. We need to win this league in terms of this group league. There's no real excuse for us not to win. There'll be obviously opportunities. We'll be doing the predicted 11 and stuff. I think it'll be quite interesting to go through that. There's a lot of players who need game time from West Ham, the likes of Fabianski, Cresswell, Mavropanos, Tilo Kira, Pavle Fornals, Ben Rama, probably Danny Ings, and Barmer. You could probably corner. You could probably. There's about a dozen people who could probably use some minutes as well. So. And then with Liverpool on the Sunday as well. Obviously, Liverpool play away for their Europa League game on Thursday as well. So, they'll be travelling. We won't be travelling as much. It's a good opportunity to maybe get back at them at Anfield on Sunday as well, but we'll see. Anyway, that's me done. As I said, keep an eye on the channel. We've got obviously all the previews, reviews, predicted 11s, watch-alongs, all that type of stuff coming up. Obviously, we've got match day afternoon on the Thursday outside of London Stadium. You might even have an ex-Hammer interview thrown in there, just or one or two just this week. But the only way you don't miss anything is by hitting the subscribe button and hitting the bell notifications you made with anytime we put new content on. Also, check out the kneesonbrad.com boys as well. 26 years and going strong. And as I said, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, my friends. Keep the faith. Come on, you bloody Irons. 2-game week. Let's be having ya.